Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Eats and I watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But before we start with that, I'm gonna tell you something that's what I did yesterday. Um, yesterday I went to a kind of a concert, at the cafe. And it was very fun. There were 3 bands there that were there. It was first Colostomy. Um, which I don't think you can find on Spotify, but you can definitely maybe find the album on YouTube. The second one was Klont. And this band you can find on Spotify. And also go to klontmetal.nl. That is KLONTMETAL.nl. So go to the website and maybe buy some merch or whatever. I think they're a bit more of a grindcore band. And the last one is Toxic Masculinity. You can also find that one on Spotify. It has 9 or less monthly listeners per month. So listen to the music and crack, send it a bit up, the monthly listeners, come on, support a bit of the band, listen a bit to the music, and maybe buy some merch, if you like the music. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for. Oh, but before we start with that, I also asked the singer of Klont if he had some vocal tips, and he kind of had. He said, I do a u, no, and let me hear yours. So I did my, okay, bit lower, and also from your midriff, not from your throat, and he said, okay, watch me do it, on stage, and after that, we talk maybe a bit. So I said, front row, basically. And well, I could kind of see what he did, but it was hard to see because he had his mic and his hand in front of his fucking mouth. So, it's hard to see what somebody does then. But let's just start now. And the talk after that was also, quick, you see what I did? Yeah, kinda. I didn't buy a t-shirt from Klont, which I actually wanted to buy, but they didn't have my size, so bit of it. That said, let's start with the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because that's what you're here for. Sorry that it took so long. We see a very, very young raccoons, very tiny, very cute, and they're kind of playing with each other, and one looks up and we see somebody coming through a hallway. Now it's approaching the cage. They distance themselves as much as possible from the person, so they're almost all against the wall. Except for that one that was looking up. That one is a bit more a distance from the other one, but not too much. And then they opened the cage, reached in, and grabbed the one grabbed the one that was looking up. We got a close-up shot of the eyes of the raccoon, and then it the raccoon began to age. We saw a bit ago, the hairs more grow and yada yada, and obviously that eventually was Rocket. The camera zooms out from the face, and Rocket looks sad, just looks sad, and he starts to sing with Radiohead Creep, the acoustic version, while people were walking around him. But we're gonna leave that. If you don't know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. I can say that we got a bit of a background story of Rocket. How he became basically that smart, and it was not a wholesome story. Let's say that. It was interesting to see, but it was also very fucking sad. Obviously, I cried, when Rocket died, and when Quill hugged his grandfather, because that reminded me a bit of my grandfather. Rest in peace. But yeah, there were obviously also good action fights in this movie. The one with the with that arrow, he finally learned how to control it. You do it with your heart, not just with your mind, and well, he did it, and very cool. Cosmo, as far as I could remember, that was a guy in in other shows. It's a man. It's a man. It has obviously a Russian accent, and it's a guy instead of a female, which is here, which I don't mind, but it's just a bit different. Rocket became the new captain. Very cool. Very cool. Proud of him. And yeah, just the action fights were nice. I'll give this movie maybe high 4, low 5, or even a 5 out of 5, because this was also a very good movie. Go watch the movie yourself, leave likes, recommend a good Chris Pratt movie down below in the comments, subscribe to the channel, come join Discord, and see you guys maybe later for Black Side something, or otherwise I'll see you guys tomorrow for run of the week. Tomorrow we're gonna start with Austin Powers. Yes, we had a request from some guy named Ryan to watch Austin Powers with opera gloves. So I bought a pair, and we're gonna do a review with opera gloves. So we're gonna get Austin Powers 1, 2, 3 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On Thursday we're gonna get Coneheads. On Friday, Spawn. On Saturday, The Marvels and Terror Vision. And on Sunday, Madam Web. But I haven't heard lots of good things about. I haven't heard good things about Madam Web and The Marvels. So I'm curious what it's gonna be. But before the Marvels is coming to the channel on Saturday, we're gonna watch Miss Marvel first, and well, I'm gonna watch it, just fully, and then make a review for it. Maybe by reading description or something like that, yeah, but I haven't heard also good shit about that, so yeah. We'll see. But I'm gonna leave that and see you guys tomorrow for Austin Powers, and maybe later for Black Side something.